Last man standing? Impossible odds? Let's do this!
This is the Clucked Chickens, a podcast about Realm Royale. Boom! Hey! Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the Clucked Chickens. I'm OctoOG, and to my right, to my left, Donut.
What's up?
How's everything going this week, my friend?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about yourself?
Outstanding. Right in the middle of, we go and climb a mountain and then decide that I want to run the New York City Marathon, so I'm in the middle of training for that.
Jeez, you move around too much.
My legs are killing me, but it's just like, it's really fun trying to find time to play, run, make food. It's just like, wow, it's good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I just do the whole eat food and play thing, but yeah, that's exhausting in itself.
If you guys don't know, Donut here used to be one of the biggest. His name doesn't make sense because he used to be like the most fit person you'd ever seen. I saw photos of this guy, and it's just like it's unbelievable how dad bod he's become.
Oh yeah, I've embraced it. I've embraced it to the fullest.
So we got a lot of people in the chat tonight already. We got Octane, we got Unicorn Girl, we got Crumb. Welcome everybody to the live version. I'm guessing. I'm wondering what they're here for, Donna.
I don't know. Hopefully nothing free. Cause
yeah, something free. That's something crazy. I don't know.
Definitely gonna cost them whatever they get.
So one thing before we jump in, it's very interesting. This week I had a lot of people actually texting me about, hey, those photos that you showed on top of the mountain with the Realm Royale flag and stuff. They were like, did you Photoshop those? I was like, ow! That hurt me deep down. I climbed to the top of 2 of the tallest mountains in Europe, and you think I'd Photoshop? Here's the flag. Awesome. Here it is. This is what we went to the top of both mountains with. And we will continue to go up mountains with this. I might even bring this across the finish line of the New York City Marathon. Or I'll put it right here. Oh, maybe we can beg for one of those cool Realm Royale. Did you see those Realm Royale shirts they were giving away at GameCon?
I did not see them, no.
Oh my god, they were absolutely I think who was it? Baggins, I think, had one on. It's just like this entire shirt had like chickens of all types all over it. It's amazing. Awesome. But anyways, Realm Royale. How was your week in Realm Royale?
Uneventful at the most. By my own means, by my own fault. I didn't play too much. I was actually watching the tournaments. More than playing, honestly.
Yeah, the tournaments are really, really getting out there. I mean, I'm really loving what they're doing with the tournaments. I'm amazed at the people that are sitting on top of the tournaments. The names like Kefri and Twitch, Bird, TV Bird. Oh my God, those players are absolutely unbelievable. And even so for those of you who don't know, Realm Royale started an invitational about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and it was a $10,000 prize for first place. Duos matching, and if you all remember when they started building out the actual. You'd be able to put in a code and go into your own very specific server. They built that specifically for, which I think is absolutely amazing, specifically for tournaments. I think some other games could learn from that.
Oh, definitely. That is a that is like one of the best things I could have done for tournaments. The tournaments that they're having would not nearly have been as popular as they are if it wasn't for them doing that. It's a game changer for these battle royale games because most of them you cannot have tournaments like this. They don't have the capability of doing that.
Yeah, the custom matches. I mean, I remember when they were doing like the testing for that, we were like, oh my god, really? I mean, this is amazing. Now, I'm really excited, and I really hope soon that they'll actually sort of give the ability for people to create custom matches a little easy. I don't. I mean, I haven't actually called High Res and said, hey, can I get a custom server or anything like that? But I'm wondering what you have to do to actually get one so that you can set up your own tournaments. It'd be kind of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Once they release that to a more of a public access availability, then there'll be definitely way more tournaments and way more brackets. And I'm excited for that too. I'm excited to get in on some of these tournaments. I'm getting bloodthirsty here.
Yeah, well, yes, I agree. But so to what's actually happened over the last month? I mean, for 2 weeks in a row, Kefri and Bird walked away with first prize. I mean, when they walked into these tournaments, they were so far ahead of anybody else. I mean, the points were ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with Kefri or Bird before Realm Royale. Kefri, who mains assassin, coincidentally is also a professional Overwatch player, and he mains Widowmaker. So I mean, it makes sense that he would pick assassin, sniper rifle, but Kefri and Bird mains warrior in Realm. Kefri and Bird, the first 2 weeks specifically, it was a landslide victory. And now these are all professional players. It's not like a mix between. It's not like a pro am. Every single person in these games are professional players of the top tier, and Kefri and Bird just walked right over the top of everybody for the first 2 weeks and continued to do very well following.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. I mean, I was watching these guys, and I was like, I knew I would be destroyed. And what was even funnier is when players would come in and they would see like the names showing up, like Kefri, or if they would run away from them. It was absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah, you know, as a professional player or as a competitive player, you know that if you're causing other people's strategies have to play around you and your partner, you know you're doing something right, because that's huge. That is a huge intimidation factor right there.
Yeah. So, but then week 3, I mean, still they're came in second. Jodobo and Z1 Unknown, they beat them, but it wasn't by much.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm actually glad someone's actually starting to give them a little bit of trouble or contesting the crown, because after a while it gets kind of boring watching the one team dominate every single week over and over and over again. And the way that the point system works for these tournaments is actually to everybody else's benefit, because you don't necessarily have to kill or fight Kefri and Bird to outscore them.
Right, exactly, and which is amazing. But then week 4 comes along and they take first again with NRG, and NRG is nothing to scoff at either. It was absolutely insanity what basically happened there.
Yeah. I mean, Kefri's he's a great great shot. But that's like one of the he's and Bird, the two of them, they work so well together, and I mean they deserve it. I mean they're gonna stay up on the top until someone else comes in and knocks them down.
Which happened. I don't know what happened week 5. Kefri played with Overpowered. Now Overpowered, I mean, I think he took, and I think we'll talk about it in a second. He did really good in Keemstar Tournament, but I guess Kefri and Overpowered just either weren't playing well together, or there were just way too many people that just came out of the woodworks just going after them.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the good things about having these tournaments weekly, is because there are times where you go into a game and you might just die right away, and it throws the whole tournament out for you. So, I mean, me, as I have competitive background, I know how that feels, and it really sucks. So, having multiple tournaments once a week gives those teams more than one opportunity to show what they're made of and show that they could get to the top first place, second place matches, and that's what Kai Bate and Loan did. You know, they were, I didn't even know they were in the tournament and any tournaments for the first 4 weeks. So then out of the fifth week, they come out of nowhere and just take first.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Honestly, I was quite impressed with just like how how bad and how fast they came out.
Yep.
But so when you then go look at Keemstar, the Keemstar tournament was insanity. $100,000 prize pool right off the bat was I don't get it. I how they got $100,000 for these tournaments is just, it blows me away.
Yeah, I was super stoked when I first heard that Keemstar was doing the Realm Royale in the first place, and then that he was making it $100,000 prize pool. Obviously, since he's known for Friday Night Fortnite, and Fortnite only giving him what's the prize pool on Fortnite that he does?
$10,000, yeah.
And that they limit him to that. They don't want him to do anymore. Whereas Hi-Rez told Keemstar, hey, go for it. Whatever
Yeah, go for it. To put as much out as you want.
Exactly, and that drawed more attention to these Realm Royale tournaments, I think, than it kind of put the Fortnite tournaments in the shadow, which is awesome. Which is awesome for Realm.
Yeah, I'm really loving the fact that they're putting this much prize money out, and I mean, you still got the big names. You've got Overpowered. He took first. Him and Sony took first place. Shroud was in there. Jotobo was back up in there. But then you start seeing the teams like TSM playing in there. Kefri was in there. Dr. Lupo, or Dr. Lupo, Mad Ruski. People they're coming out of the woodworks from different games to actually play in this and get that $50,000.
And I will say, while we're on the topic of it, Sony and Overpowered getting that first place prize. Me and Stesny, my partner, actually had a epic 2v2 fight against them off stream one day, and we almost took them out. It was a really long and extended firefight between me and Stez and Sony and Overpowered. They ended up taking us out, but I was really proud at how well we performed against them, knowing that they're a first place team.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, no, but then again, I've played with you and Stez, and you two are absolutely amazing. I mean, you're not as well known, and you're not as as a lot of these streamers, but I mean, you two play, and when you go in there, you're winning. You're taking people out. You're normally getting in the high ranking levels. So I'm pretty sure one of these days, if you get in the Keemstar or you get into one of the invitationals,
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it because I know we're going to turn heads.
I think it'll be good. So the second match, it was really our second tournament. Hold Shift and was it Slick? I never got his name. Was it Slick?
Yes.
His name? Okay.
Yep. Slick.
Those two were amazing, but it was amazing to also see that Mad Ruski came out of there and was second place. I was really excited to see him. I watch Ruski stream all the time and see him jumping into Realm and doing so well. Really, really excited me.
Yeah, and these tournaments, the Keemstar tournament specifically, show exactly how quickly you could go from a top tier player and you just have one bad game or one bad match or one or two off games, and it drops your rankings down so far. In the first week, Kefri was down past fifth place, down with Dr. Lupo, who doesn't even play Realm Royale. And then in the second invitational, Sony and Cookie Man, Cookie Man is also one of Sony's go-to partners. It's usually Sony and Overpowered, but Cookie Man plays with Sony quite often, and they are equally as skilled as you would say Kefri and Bird, and they get down in the 5th and 8th place. So it really shows you how this point system can make you or break you.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody who's on the stream, we're having a little technical difficulties right now. For some unknown reason, I'm coming in one ear only. I seem to be mono. I'm not going to adjust that right now because I don't know what's going on. We'll have to figure the technical difficulties out later. But I'm looking at my little pingometer, and it's showing both, but one not as much as the other. So I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out, I promise, for the next podcast. So the next thing that I'm really excited to talk about is the consoles. So the first round of closed beta, they went out on the 1st to a few thousand. Now I saw Twitter, I saw so many people, and this made me absolutely ecstatically happy, going, please let me get in. I want to do this. I want to play this game. And the want to get on this on console makes me so excited that the game is going to sort of blow up back to sort of where we started playing with it.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a huge population of people that either can't afford computers or don't have computers by whatever choice or whatever means, and those are the people that they love when these games release betas and alphas for the console, because I mean, when you see games like this that get a lot of hype, most of the spam comments on their Twitter and messages and questions and FAQ is, will it release on console? Is it coming out on console? Is it out on console? There's a lot more people than you would think that play on console that want these games.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm really excited that it will be coming out. I love that a lot of people really want to play the game, especially on console, and just come out and go, oh hey, let's play this. Let's get in here. Let's really do it. I want to play all these games that everybody else is playing. So now Josh Nash, sort of the Hi-Res Studio community manager, the person that actually also gave us the skin to give away tonight. He was basically saying everybody at Hi-Res is really happy that everybody's trying to get on. But that right now they're saying the closed testing audience is going to stay small while they refine the core mechanics. And they hope to expand it later, and they'll be making more technical improvements to the game and doing more testing as those changes are being implemented. And they want to make sure that they get the best possible experience. Yes, I'm reading this basically verbatim, but thank you for the understanding. We'll release more information about console closed beta at a later date. And we're going to come back to this in a bit, but I love the fact that they know that everybody wants to jump in. They know everybody wants to play, but I think they really want to get this beautiful before they get the tens of thousands of people on console.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is something that we've seen with Heroic Leap games and high-res games and DieNasT and the team since the very beginning of the alpha, since me and you started playing on the second day of alpha, is that this game as an alpha has been consistently smooth and consistently well updated, frequently updated, and there's been not enough hiccups for me to remember, and that's a good thing for an alpha game. That's a breath of fresh air for all these early access games that are trying to hurry up their releases and letting things go wrong and letting things crash just because they wanted to get the release out sooner. This proves even further that they don't want to rush their console release. They want to get in only as many as they need, so that when they do let it open the floodgates, so to speak, that their servers are ready and the game is going to be great and playable, just like it was when me and you started playing it.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be great. Now, I have a question for you. Do you think that it being so smooth hurt them? Because let me go there, because we walked into a game that felt like it was in beta, and then they made all these changes. Like we do in alpha. You do this in all alpha games. Is that the reason maybe why people were like a little like, oh, why'd you make this? Like they were less worried about the bugs. They were more worried about the actual game. Since there was no bugs, it really didn't affect the game. You know what? You see where I'm going?
I completely understand. There, is what you're saying. What I'm thinking, what I'm beginning is that the gamers or the players, the game was so smooth that they forgot it was an alpha, or they weren't thinking of it as an alpha. So when they're doing these big changes, the big core mechanic changes, they're acting as if the dev team is like breaking a good game that's already done. I understand, and I mean, no matter what state of what point of the game you're in, alpha, beta, full release, whatever. Anytime you release a big patch, whether it's a core game mechanic change or a class nerf or an update, there's gonna be a crowd of people that freak out, and then there's gonna be a crowd of people that like the change. If assassins get nerfed to the ground, yeah, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off, and if assassins get buffed and the sniper rifle damage goes through the roof, I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna say, yeah, this is a perfectly balanced patch. I don't know what you're talking about. So no matter what they do, I mean, yeah, I think there's probably more than usual people that were a little upset about the patches and the big changes because the game is so smooth. It's an alpha, but everyone forgets that it's an alpha. And because the game it runs so good, it runs like a full release game.
Yeah, that's what sort of I was thinking that the other day. It was just like the game is so beautiful, so smooth, so beautiful. Little things that made me think, yeah, maybe that is the reason. But anyways,
possibility.
Yeah, but consoles, just to let everybody know, the consoles will be coming out. I doubt it's going to be coming soon. And in a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking about some rumors and stuff, and we're going to get a little bit more into that. So while we're there, why don't we talk a little bit of strategy tonight?
I like it. My favorite.
What class should you play? So I've been seeing this a lot, and a lot of questions. Especially on the Realm Royale stream, there people like different classes for different reasons. But the question comes up, especially with new players, on what class should you play. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Before you finish that, I'm gonna preface this with now. Every single game has those people that are going to say, what's the best class, or which class is better than this, what abilities are better than that. That comes no matter what game. And me and you, I know you're an MMO player as well. You know this far too much where there's people, what's the best spec, what's the best abilities, what's the best build, what's the best leveling class. Yeah. So you're going to have this in every single game. And basically what it comes down to in the end of the day is what you're happy with playing. But there are definitely better options for different scenarios.
Yeah. What I want to talk about tonight, I think, is for the first-time player. Now, when you come into Realm Royale, and if you've played any of these other games in the way of if you've played Fortnite, if you've played PUBG, if you've played any of these survival games, there's the basic premise is the same. Everybody drops in. Everybody sort of, kills everybody. But what makes Realm a little bit different is the fact that, believe it or not, two of the classes actually are a little more forgiving. And that's kind of why they're on the tops of the charts right now, and that would be the Warrior and the Engineer. And the reason why I say this is the Warrior and the Engineer both have shields, they both have healing. And so what happens is you're not sort of managing your health as much. You're more or less sort of managing the game. You can play a little bit more. You can get around. And sort of Mage is a little bit more technical. And she does have her ice block, which sort of she could freeze up, a little bit of healing. And then you've got the Hunter and the Assassin, which are a lot more technical playing. And they neither one of them have healing, but they're both very good distance players, so you can get people at a damn good distance with them. So my personal opinion as a casual gamer, as somebody who who's just coming in, just learning, that's sort of, I would say, go Warrior, go Engineer. They are the quote unquote popular ones right now, because the Engineer now has his awesome new jetpack, and the Warrior has, the Warrior's just been a Warrior. How about what do you think? For a casual player, do you think this sort of works?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So when I break it down as which class you should play, not which class is the best to play, which class you should play. I break it down similar to how you said. I break down the classes based on skill level from novice to advanced. How hard is it to play this class well? Assuming every class can be played on a professional level, because they can. Which one is the easiest to learn and as you said, the most forgiving? Warrior and Engineer definitely on my list for a new player. Still top 2 because you said you have the heals, you have and you also have mobility, and their class legendary weapons. The hitbox on the axes is quite large, and the Engineer being a grenade launcher with splash damage is way more forgiving than something like the Assassin with a smaller hitbox, bullet drop sniper rifle. So you have more room for error with the Warrior and Engineer. So if you're not used to the aiming or the hitboxes or the game mechanics as a whole, Warrior and Engineer are definitely your top 2 picks. And also, if you mess something up, you miss a vital shot that could change the tide of the firefight you're in. As a Warrior and Engineer, you could drop down heals, you could drop down a shield, you could jump away from the fight and kind of reset yourself if you mess up. And Mage, perfect right in the middle. Assassin, Hunter, like I said, a good assassin and a good hunter can outplay
anybody.
A great warrior.
Yeah.
So, but the learning curve on those 2 classes is higher. So this is I agree 100% with the way this is laid out.
Yeah, I put this slide together actually without consulting with Donut 100% because I wanted to sort of surprise him on this one. I told him, hey, I've got 2 slides tonight, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to say, this is what I think, and see where he comes in. It's nice to see that me and the professional player are starting to get close.
Yeah, it's done pretty good. I will still say Assassin's number 1.
Well, yes, of course. We have the next question is, what do you do when you start finding weapons? What are the best weapons out there today? Now, I did put this together sort of sans Donut, but we did talk about this before the stream. And my personal belief, and this is going through how people are using them, what people are doing, how many people are actually using them in competitions and stuff. It looks like in the regular weapons, the burst rifle, the slug rifle, and the sword are being used tremendously. I mean, that sword does damage like nobody's business. You see crossbow, revolver, and heirloom rifle. They'll swap those out for the burst, slug, and sword, but they'll keep them. Shotguns, assault rifles, SMGs, I just don't see people use them. They pick them up if they've got them and they've got nothing else, but I don't see people using them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with this. Definitely the burst rifle, the slug rifle being under the best category. They're definitely 2 of the most used weapons in the game by far. Because the slug rifle's incredible damage. The burst rifle. Once the burst rifle became a hit scan, it was right to the top of the list, immediately. Now the sword, that's where it kind of comes for me personally. It's kind of like to each his own. The sword does a ridiculous amount of damage, and now that they fixed the hitbox for it, it is a lot easier to use. But in some situations, it all depends on the player. Like me personally, I would probably take a revolver or a crossbow because I don't want to risk getting that close quarters with another player with the sword, just in case I might mess up or I might miss. But damage-wise, the sword is definitely worthy of being up there, and you can make some really cool plays with the sword too.
Right. Well, I love using the sword with the warrior's ability. I tried it with the assassin. I just don't get the assassin's movement that well, but using the warrior, using the rush, getting up into somebody's face, slashing with a sword, it pretty much is. It's at the beginning of the game. It's pretty much goodbye.
Oh yeah, if you have a proper class that has great mobility, like the warrior's charge, or if you want to pair together the assassin smoke bomb with the assassin blink,
right.
If you could time the distance properly, you could get right on top of somebody without them even seeing you before it's too late.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now for legendary weapons, the throwing axe has been on top for forever.
Oh yeah,
it's just an amazing weapon. And with the warrior, how he moves, how he throws, he is just that throwing the throwing axe. I think its hitbox is the size of me.
Yeah, it's definitely a large hitbox.
Now the plasma launcher. When my first character was the engineer. Now I played him pretty much to exclusivity, but I didn't like the plasma launcher very much. It's just not the way I liked it. But it's very interesting now that the engineer now has this new movement ability, how it's a little bit more controlled, you got a little bit more able to move around, you can do multiple bursts. That plasma launcher is destroying people right now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. It was always a pretty strong weapon, but as the game went on and they patched out more and more and more, it became stronger and stronger. It's especially towards the end of the games when the circles are getting smaller and smaller. Me as an assassin, I cringe whenever I see an engineer in the last circle. It makes it. I get so worried because I can't get away from them. I can't. Whether they lob those grenades, they use those jetpacks. There's no way for me to get away from them.
Yeah, they just get up above you and just drop it down on you. So no, it's very interesting. Now the sniper rifle and longbow, they're great distance weapons. They are great, but they're smaller, and the headshot sort of disappeared, like it's been halved. So it's not doing the damage that they used to do from distance or from headshots. So that's where I put them in good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Playing an assassin, mostly the sniper rifle is definitely a lot less strong as it used to be. Obviously, as the patches. They nerfed a lot of. They nerfed the damage. They added a heavy bullet drop. They nerfed the headshot damage almost completely. So yeah, the big impact of those weapons is completely, almost completely gone. Which was one of the only pros to it, especially as a sniper rifle, having that bolt action. You only shoot one shot at a time.
Right.
You made that one shot count. It was like devastating. But now
exactly.
It's a lot more dampened. And with what I said from the very beginning of the game. From the second day of alpha, the throwing axe, for example, with a warrior, yes, it's a close quarters weapon. They can only throw so far. It's got a very, very heavy weapon drop, or bullet drop, if you will, I guess. But their mobility makes it so they don't have to worry about that. They could get to you no matter how far away you are, unless you're at maximum render distance with a sniper rifle. In that case, good luck getting a sniper rifle shot off. I guess
exactly.
Unless he's standing still, it's almost impossible. So, the mobility of the warrior paired with the throwing axes puts the throwing axe on top, no matter how far away you are.
Yeah, no, it's I agree. Yeah. Lastly, the stone spear. I went and started using the mage for a bit, and I just can't. It just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's a tri-burst. It hits with pretty good damage. It just feels like it doesn't. It's hard to hit all three shots.
Yeah, the stone spear is just plain and simple a weird weapon.
Yeah.
The closest thing I could compare it to from a different game would be when the Needler came out for Halo. Playing with the Needler.
Yeah.
It felt awkward. It was weird. Now this is completely, in my eyes, correct listing, but if you take the weapons alone as it is, in gameplay, I've seen some pros use the mage, and the way they use the stone spear is to use a fast tri-burst, close quarters, followed up by an instant fireball.
Yeah. That
does a lot of damage, but now that's using an ability as well. So weapons alone, this is proper, because I think the stone spear does a little less damage than it should, honestly. Or maybe even if the damage stays the same, if they increase the rate of fire just by a little bit, that might help it out a little bit. But it's just a weird weapon.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we're about to, in a couple of minutes, give away the Cluckomorph skin. We're going to talk about some rumors really quickly, but I just want everybody to know at the end of this, right after we're done talking with the rumors, we're going to give a little bit of get everybody in. We're going to need you guys to throw some stuff into chat so we can know who's in and who wants to win a Cluckomorph skin. And then we're going to randomly give away one of those today. And then we're going to tell you how, if you haven't already, how you can join. If you follow us, we will be putting a contest together next week and giving away 2 more Cluckomorph skins. So that's what is coming up. But first, we want to talk a little bit about rumors. If you're in chat right now, you're going to see a guy by the name of Babka05. He was one of the guys I climbed Elbrus with a couple of weeks ago, and he's in there taunting me with drinking vodka. We're not going to talk about that story in this. But rumors. So I have a feeling. I have a really big feeling that we've got a big change coming. So the last coding tweet we saw was on the 17th about matchmaking. And that's what we had talked about because, some servers were getting a little bit low. They were trying to make it so people could matchmake. And before that, the only other patch they had was the 14th to clean up daily quests and some weapon damage after the economy patch that was on the 13th. So that comes to tell me that's 2 weeks of, we haven't really heard anything, and that's pretty new for the high-res Heroic Elite team.
Yeah, there could be. See, what I gather from this is we're either, I guess, something big, or the game is almost ready.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel this. So the rumor mills have been going on this week. The big one is that we are going to be hearing about the new patch info, or we're going to get the patch this week, depending on how well they go. We were listening to, if you guys don't follow the Realm Royale channel, you should follow them because they have people like Thor, they have people like Baggins. They're playing the game, talking about it, and giving us some inside look to what's going on with the game. And from what I'm hearing from Thor just yesterday, that they are going to be releasing or showing a new patch information this week. So fingers crossed on that one.
My fingers are crossed for the Paladin.
Yes. Well, my thing is I think that would be another thing that would come out in this new patch. They've made these changes to the game with the crafting, the economy, and all that. I'm wondering if what's coming up with the Paladin is going to be they did those changes because of what the Paladin does.
Yeah, that's possible. I'm calling either the Paladin or the rocket launcher. I almost forgot about that.
Oh, the rocket launcher! Oh my! You know what? I really don't think that rocket launcher's coming out.
You don't think so?
You know what? I love the look of it, and for everybody who doesn't know, when they were releasing the battle pass. When they were releasing the battle pass, there was this really cool video montage. And in that video montage, you see the engineer with a rocket launcher firing at a mage, I think it was, or something like that.
It was an assassin standing at the forge.
Yeah. So
and he ghost walked with the rocket went through him.
Yeah. So yep. I don't know if that actually is going to happen. I don't know if that's actually going to be in the game. I would love for it to be. I just don't know where it fits.
Maybe it's the Paladin's class legendary weapon. Who knows?
I'm a Paladin. See my rocket launcher. So another thing with these, with the patch, is Heroic Games has been actually asking their streamers, like Thor and them, what was your favorite patch? So they're asking players about information that where was the game the best for you? So we've been playing around, we've been doing all this, so it makes me also think they're like, okay, we've played with all these things, we've got a new class coming out, and I'm pretty sure they've got new abilities. There's going to be I think there's 2 new classes that are going to be coming out, Paladin first and whatever is the second one. I have a feeling that new abilities are coming out, so I think they're like, okay, we've been playing with this alpha for a while. Now let's find out where the game was the best for people, plus how it works with the characters and the things that we're making. Let's put it together and let's start getting ready for beta.
So what was your favorite patch?
My favorite patch was The one where they brought reduced the automatic weapon and the SMG down to a little bit. They had the chickens, they had legendary weapons in chests, but only one. You didn't have any legendary weapons in chests. So it was like, they brought out the SMG, they brought out the automatic weapons. They were way too OP. They dropped them down one, and then the next week they dropped them down a little bit more. So the weapons were pretty much around the same as like the other weapons. So they were viable. There was a lot. The game and the time to kill was a lot shorter, but I really love the manicness of that patch.
I think the way I think of it for myself, my favorite patch is when I'm looking back at the game. You know, obviously from the second day of alpha, what is the most memorable patch? That's how I look at it. I mean, maybe the patch that I had the most fun in, not necessarily the patch that I thought was the best for the game. I look at it as a personal standpoint. Where did I have the most fun with the game? And that was the patch that they released the automatic weapons. When they were super overpowered, so much fun. And it was crazy ridiculous. You picked up a assault rifle. The time to kill was 2 seconds.
Oh my god, yeah.
You could spray a person down, turn them into a chicken, and still holding the trigger down, kill the chicken without having to reload whatsoever.
That was
my favorite time. Yeah, that was my favorite time because it was just so fun. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, this is clearly overpowered. Everyone knows this, but we're gonna have fun with it for a week or two.
Yeah.
And then go on.
Oh no, I love that. When that came out, you and I were having so much fun. I mean, it was fun because we knew it was stupid fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't serious. We knew they were gonna get nuked eventually, but just going in there and just spraying people down, it was so much fun.
It was one of those patches where it's like, okay, let me see how many kills I can get with this assault rifle before they get rid of it. That's exactly what was going on. Realistically, as for a professional standpoint, from a competitive standpoint, my favorite patch would probably be the one where they nerfed the warrior axe by a little bit.
Oh yeah, they nerfed the warrior axe and they boosted the stone spear.
Yes,
yeah.
That's where I feel like I think the warrior was the last class to get tinkered with, and once the warrior got a little bit more balancing, it kind of brought all the classes full circle with who's more powerful than who, and whose legendary weapon is more powerful than what. It made it as balanced as it possibly could be, I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, you'll see on the screen, you don't see this on the podcast, but is beta coming? Now, a couple of seconds ago, we were talking about what Josh Nash had written, and at the last thing that they wrote is, "Thank you for understanding and your continued support about the consoles. We'll release more information about console closed beta at a later date." Now, I hear closed beta, and they were also talking about tinkering. They were talking about we'll make further technical improvements to the game and doing more testing as those changes are implemented. So I'm thinking that once the consoles start coming out, that's going to be our official beta.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they haven't really said anything about for the PC, for us PC players, about leaving alpha, which is that's what makes this kind of strange. Usually the dev will say, oh, we're heading towards the end of alpha, or we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and they haven't said anything like that, which is what's making the statement a little strange. But obviously I feel we've been in alpha for quite a little while now, for a dev team the size of High Res or Heroic Leaps. They've obviously ironed out a lot of the core mechanics and a lot of the big glitches or bugs that they did have. So I feel like we should be coming out of alpha. I feel like we could have been already out of alpha, honestly.
Yeah, well, now I want to get out of alpha before it goes to console, because we can't be giving the alpha skins away to just anybody.
True. I agree.
Just saying.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's what we have this week. But we also have Who wants a skin? So it was actually really nice. DieNasT, he gave us a couple of skins to give away to our listeners, to our viewers. So what we want to do is we want to give one away tonight. So the way we're going to do this is if you do #chicken in the chat, and if you put that in the chat, we're going to see who all's in here. We're going to put you guys in a random generator, and we're going to pull one of you guys. And we got 7, 8. There was 10 of us. There was 11 of us. So I think we're down to 7. But just type chicken in chat, and whoever gets this, we will give you a skin. So while we're letting that thing go away, or go ahead, type chicken in the chat. And Donut's putting his sprinkle in there as well. But as I was saying, no, we're close. We're getting really close to beta. We're getting really close to us being able to get to a place where console players are in, all these different, different people are actually playing to get this game back up to where it was when we first started. So I'm really, really interested and intrigued to see, what's going to happen, when's it going to happen, and what it's going to be like playing with all these console players.
Yeah, it's going to be, the cross-platform is going to be a big deal and a big thing, especially when it comes down to the ranking system and the tournaments and all that stuff, doing the cross-platform. Will they allow cross-platform for tournaments, or will it be PC only or console only for tournaments? Who knows? But I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I just picked up a PS4. I told you, I think last week I told you. So I'm excited to play on PS4 because I've yet to play any of these battle royale games like Fortnite. I've yet to play any of them on a console. I've been mainly strictly only PC, and I'm curious to see how they play on console.
It's a bit of a pain in the butt, let me tell you. It's
I would assume it always has been going from PC to console. It's always kind of a lackluster.
Yeah, no, but also we also come up to the fact where you have players coming in, and it's so much easier to kill people that are playing on console. So it's a little unfair. So just to let everybody else know, especially it's going to be on the podcast, because we don't want you to have to come to the chat or come live to win Clucked skins. So what we're going to do is we're going to be tweeting out a contest next week, and what you can do is you can follow Clucked Chickens on Twitter, you can follow myself, you can follow Donut, and you can follow our streams. And they'll give you points to get in, and at the end of the week we're going to do a drawing, and whoever we're going to draw 2 people randomly from that, and whoever wins we will send the codes to. So that's how we're going to do that. Again, if anybody's still in the chat, #chicken, and you get a skin, you get a Cluckomorph. So far, we've only got 2. We got a Unicorn Girl and we got Crumb.
By far the most hideous skin in the game.
Yeah, 100% the most hideous skin in the game.
By sound and by look.
Oh, it is ridiculous. One of the things I've also noticed is, did you notice when you kill them, they go away in a spaceship?
I did not notice that.
Yeah, a spaceship comes and takes them away.
I did not notice that at all. I thought it just exploded into a pile of green goop.
Yeah, no, it does. So, well, we got 2 people in here, so we're gonna do the best random that's possible, because with 2 players, you get, it's a heads or tails.
50-50.
50-50. I like 50-50. So I
like those odds.
I'm gonna throw a special. So if it's green, it's for Crumb. If it's not green, it's for Unicorn Girl. So here we go. It's not green. It looks like a Unicorn Girl is winning this one.
Wow, nice.
Okay, well, Unicorn Girl's been around for a while. She's been being nice to the chat, retweeting, so it's good that she got it. And what we're going to do is I will be texting this over, messaging it over to you, Unicorn Girl. And everybody, if you are enjoying the stream, please give this, follow the channel. For myself, you can see right here, this is new, my Twitch and my Twitter, and you can see Donut. See, Donut, I got it so that he doesn't have to say LO_Donut OL all the time.
That's nice. I was really considering just changing my gamer tag to like I am Donut or something.
That would probably be a good idea. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining the chat. We actually the viewers tonight. We've reached more than we've reached before. So thank you very much, and we will be here next week talking about hopefully the new patch, or at least the rumors, or the hey, this is what we're going to do for the new patch, and we'll go from there. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and we shall see you next week.
Have a good one.